Hello class 10. Today we will continue with our fourth chapter, Revolt of 1857, and our today's topic is the nature of the Revolt of 1857. So today we will do the nature of the Revolt of 1857. There we will see that basically the debate as to what is the nature of the revolt of 1857. This debate started from 1950s and 60s. During that time the debate started, and it is still continuing. It is still a debatable question that what is the real nature of the revolt of 1857. Now we see that different schools of historians has given their different opinion. And mainly we see that historians have given three types of opinion. Three nature has been attributed to this revolt of 1857. So as per the nature is considered, what we see is that one group of historian calls this revolt of 1857 as a Sepoy mutiny. Yet another group of historians calls this the War of Independence, Indian War of Independence. And another group of historians like Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajani Datta will come to the details. They calls this, the Indian historian, they calls it feudal revolt. So we see a war of independence or national war or national revolt. These are the three nature that has been attributed to the revolt of 1857. That is, one group of historian calls this a Sepoy mutiny. Another group of Indian historians, nationalist historian, they call it a national war or a war of independence. And another group of historian, they call it the feudal revolt. Now this topic is very important as to what is the real nature of the revolt of 1857. There we see mainly the British historian like John Seeley and John Lawrence. They call it a Sepoy mutiny. Their main motive is to point out that the British rule which was there in India, if it was not liked by the people of India, but the people also did not dislike it. So people were not opposing the British rule. Only a group of Sepoy had opposed the British rule, and that is why they want to point out that this revolt is basically a Sepoy mutiny, and it started due to the introduction of the Enfield rifle. Enfield rifle we have already read. You know that Enfield rifle was the rifle which had the greased cartridge, and the cartridge covering grease was made out of pig and cow fat. That was the rumor. And of course, because of that, the revolt really started. It was started by the Sepoys, we know that, but it was not limited to the Sepoys, as the British historians had tried to show. British historians like John Seeley and John Lawrence had tried to show that it was only limited among the Sepoys. Only Sepoys took part, and it was limited. It was not at all a successful revolt. But we see that their perspective is not fully correct. They are trying to present that it was only limited among the Sepoys, and only the Sepoys came in support of the revolt of 1857. And we see that they are trying to point out in different sections, in different pockets of North India, this revolt broke out, and it was not at all a popular revolt. And that is what the British historian are trying to prove. But we have read the causes, we have read the participation of the revolt of 1857 already. There we have seen that it was quite a popular revolt, and different section of people are participating. So it can't be termed as a Sepoy mutiny like the British historians have said. So British historian tried to call this. Remember the name John Seeley and John Lawrence. These historians are trying to point out it as a Sepoy mutiny, which is not correct fully, because yes, the Sepoys took part and it was limited in certain pockets, but it was not so much limited, and it was not limited only among the sepoys, it spread to other classes of people as well. Next we see it was called as the War of Independence, a national war. Mainly we see it was V.D. Savarkar. V.D. Savarkar calls it a national war or a war of independence. There he is trying to point out that different classes of people took part in this revolt, and the people are fighting for independence from British rule. V.D. Savarkar's book was banned during that time, and of course we see it can't be termed as the national war of independence, because never we see that different classes of people are taking part in this revolt, but none of this class has independence as their goal. They did not wanted independence from British rule. They are all fighting for their own different motive, own narrow motive, but independence from British rule was never their aim or goal. So V.D. Savarkar's argument also we cannot accept fully that it was a war of independence. Other group of historians and the group of nationalist historian, they say that if the Rajputs fighting or the fighting of Shivaji, this has been termed as national war, then the revolt of 1857 has also should be called as a national war, because here also it was a very wide scale movement and many people are taking part, so this also should be called as a national war. Historian S.N. Sen in his book is 1857, the revolt of 1857, about that S.N. Sen, another historian, is writing, and his book's name is 1857. There he is pointing out that it started as a sepoy mutiny, but it became so wide that different classes of people are taking part in this revolt of 1857, and as different classes of people are taking part in this revolt of 1857, so it ultimately became of wider political character and it became a national war of independence. So S.N. Sen is also of the view that it was a national war where people of the entire nation had taken part. But we see R.C. Majumdar, another eminent historian, he has opposed this. He said it was neither national nor the first nor the war of independence. So R.C. Majumdar is of the opinion that it was not at all war of independence, because the people, yes, different classes of people are taking part, but in different pockets it is limited. It is limited in the northern part only. In southern part it did not spread. So as it was limited in its scope and it was limited in its goal, we can't call it a war of independence, because people are taking part in different regions of north, and these people had their own motive to free their own land, to take revenge from the British for their oppression, but never any group of people had the goal or aim to free the Indian nation from the clutches of the British rule. So what we see that independence from British rule was never in the mind or never in the goal of the revolt of 1857. So we can't call it the war of independence also. So when we are writing this answer, we have to write each point, each nature. You have to explain why we can call it and why not we can call it. Why we can call it a sepoy mutiny, why we cannot call it a sepoy mutiny, why we can call it a war of independence, why we cannot call it a war of independence, why we can call it a feudal revolt, and why we cannot call it a feudal revolt. Each and every point we have to give our argument for as well as against. We can't take any particular view, because historians are still debating about the nature of the revolt of 1857. So for each and every point, each and every nature, we have to give our argument for, in support of and against. So till now we have seen war of independence, why we can call and why we cannot call, because R.C. Majumdar and other historians are of the opinion that never independence was their goal. Different leaders are taking part in different areas, but it was limited in the northern part, and never independence from British rule was their aim. So we cannot call it the war of independence. Next we see feudal revolt. It was Jawaharlal Nehru and Rajani Pam Datta. These two historians are of the opinion that the revolt of 1857 was a feudal revolt. Feudal revolt means where the landed aristocracy are taking part in the revolt. Landed aristocracy means the ruler, the zamindars, the rulers. And rulers like we see that Nana Sahib, Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Tantia Top, these people, Kanwar Singh of Bihar, these people are taking part in this revolt. So it was actually, we can say that it was a feudal revolt. They are taking part for the protection of their own land. And their zamindars, under them those zamindars who were there, they are also supporting their leaders like Kanwar Singh or Tantia Top, Nana Sahib. They got support of the zamindars of their land. So the landed aristocracy are taking part in the revolt for freeing their own land from the British rule. Thus, Jawaharlal Nehru and Rajinikanth Datta calls it a feudal revolt. So we see that here also we have to refute, we have to reject this view also. We can why we can support it? Yes, we call it a feudal revolt because the feudal lords are taking part in this revolt. But we cannot call it only a feudal revolt because not only the feudal lords are taking part, yes, the zamindars are also supporting them. But we see only it was not limited to the feudal class. The sepoys are taking part in different places. Like we have seen in Barakpur contingency, it started with Mangal Pandey. In different regions, the sepoys took part. So we see that sepoys are also taking part. Common people are taking part in different regions. We have seen that common people are fighting the British with their own primitive weapons. Whatever weapons they have in their hand, with sticks and stones, with that they are fighting. So common people are also taking part. And so as many classes, different classes, women are taking part, different classes of people are taking part in this revolt of 1857. So we can't call this revolt as only a feudal revolt. Thus, after discussing the entire nature, the three different nature of the revolt of 1857, we see that this revolt can be termed as the Great Revolt of 1857. The popular revolt of 1857. It is best to call it the popular revolt of 1857 rather than Sepoy mutiny because different classes are taking part in this revolt and it was actually a popular revolt which was common and popular among different classes of people. Of course, it was limited in some places, its scope was narrow, its scope was not so wide, but it can be called as a popular revolt. So, when we are writing the nature of the revolt of 1857, each and every nature we have to say why we can call it in support of this and against also we have to give our view. Then at the end, in conclusion, you will mention that this revolt of 1857 is basically a popular revolt. Yeah, thank you.